you actually built something completely different. And you even scaled it during a war. You got featured by Fast Company and Time, and then you even got on Forbes 30 under 30.
These new marketing strategies, with new product vision, with new features.
20 million plus downloads, 10 million plus AR. You guys have generated millions and millions of followers on social media just organically, right?
If you can somehow find a way how you can track your users across all different channels, learn a bit about the market, the user acquisition, or users.
To a newer app founder, what advice would you give to them?
First thing that came to my mind.
Hi, are you Andrew, the guy that scaled a language learning app to over 20 million downloads and turned it into one of the fastest growing edtech platforms on the planet?
Yeah, that's me.
Whoa. Okay, so Andrew, everyone's trying to build the next Duolingo right now, but you actually built something completely different. And you even scaled it during a war. You got featured by Fast Company and Time, and then you even got on Forbes 30 under 30, right?
Yeah, right.
Insane. So I figured I would just FaceTime you because I got really curious, had a bunch of questions for you. How did this all start?
It's a long story. It started 6 years ago in Ukraine, small team, group of 3, me, myself, and 2 co-founders. We thought that we're gonna, back in the day, actually, I didn't knew language, English that well before, like right now. And I thought, okay, right now it's opportunity to myself to improve my English. I need to create something to help myself and help others. Also, there is such a great business opportunity as well. Market is huge. It's red. It's really competitive, but we believe it's just early in journey in this digital transformation to new technologies. We believe also that something new gonna came in terms of tech that we can incorporate and develop on. And basically that's happened the last 2 years with AI in LLMs, those technologies. So many things that came together in one place, business opportunity, myself, I want to improve the language and market state.
Right. So obviously you guys were going up some big competitors, right? And you guys, I believe you just started with flashcards and you were bootstrapping during a literal, like the war was going on over there, right? And you had all that going on with launching this company. With all the roadblocks that could have been there, the competitors, what was going on in the country, like what's a mindset shift that you had to have in the early days that may have changed things early on?
You're completely right. We started with a flashcard ad, real simple, 10 words a day. And it used to, right now it's Promova, but it used to call 10 words. That's it. And The idea was just 10 words a day that you learn every day. And the vision was that we want to create a platform, big platform where we can teach all the skills, necessary skills in order to learn the language. Many languages in many situations for many, many different use cases. But it's big. It requires a lot of years into development. And before that, you need to test like minimal version of that. And we decided, okay, let's make a really simple flashcard app and learn a bit about the market, learn a bit about the user acquisition, learn a bit about our users. Let's find those first users. And so we came up with the first version of the app within just 2 weeks. So basically from the idea to App Store release, just 2 weeks on Android, then again, the same 2 weeks on iOS. In the first months, we released our app, and in other months, we basically acquired a couple of thousand users. And from there, it's basically started.
Insane. So a lot of people try to just copy apps like Duolingo, right? They try to do the exact same thing because that's what works. But you guys obviously built something completely different. What made you think that this model could compete just going into it?
Again, the market was really competitive. There is lots of apps. Back in 6 years ago, the top 100 educational apps, you can find at least 10 of them was language learning apps, or even more, like 20. And we thought if you're going to copy the same way as everybody else doing, same tactics and same strategies for marketing, same strategies for product, same strategies for operations and everything, at least we're going to be the second after first or after the winner, or we always going to hunt others in this race. And we thought, okay, let's play both. Let's try to come up with something new, with new marketing strategies, with new product vision, with new features, and everything that not similar to what's going on the market right now. And it's risky, but there's a way we believe that we can find the needle in this haze and somehow race against the others.
Right. High risk, high reward. I love it. It. What was the scrappiest growth tactic that you guys used in the early days, your initial users?
Because of the organic was really really, really hard to bring users on organic. Is hard. We started with performance marketing on the Facebook, Meta, Instagram, Google, TikTok, and other platforms. And we started to learn how to most efficient in this channel, how to acquire users in most efficient way and maximize our ROI and ROMI on marketing spend the best way.
Right, So obviously you guys were leveraging a lot of paid media on platforms like Meta and like TikTok. What's changed in the last 6 years as far as your strategies go to acquire users? Maybe it's a creative standpoint, maybe it's a media buying tactic. What does that part of the business look like?
Yeah, so I always believe that you can't build a big, but the best company and best product just based on performance marketing. Just impossible. And for us, performance marketing was just to have these first steps and gain some momentum. But then over the last 3 years, we switched towards organic user acquisition, brand, the virality campaigns, and etc. And we built a really strong brand. We secured lots of awards and we received lots of recognition among the professional community as well as the users. And right now, even though we started with paid marketing, right now we call it 360 marketing mix. So we have basically everything in our pockets that we use in order to acquire users and tell the story, spread the story about the product through the media, through the social media.
Right. Was there something unexpected that you guys have tried? I mean, obviously you guys have 20 million plus downloads, 10 million plus AR. You've grown quite a bit. Like, has there been anything unexpected that you guys tried that maybe just paid off in big returns?
I wouldn't say it was just unexpectedly. Okay, so one thing that works unexpectedly, if you really use those tactics that written in the books, like basically run A/B tests, not one, but thousands of them, create a factory and create an environment where people in your company feel safe and they feel encouraged to try something new, to experiment, to bring new ideas, where you test those ideas and constantly, where you use this data-driven approach on every level in your product, where we gather lots of information about our users, how they behave. And when we really analyze this, when we not ignore, when we clusterize, we always find some new insights about those users. And when we apply those and based on those insights, when we generate some ideas how we can build a better product, better features, and create this growth loop, it always helps. So it's surprisingly that's in theory, when you use this theory and frameworks approach, they works on any scale, and that was surprise-ish.
Right. Yeah. No, absolutely. It's funny you bring up the idea of a 360 marketing approach, and you guys have generated millions and millions of followers on social media just organically, right? So as far as the organic content goes, how does that turn into users? Because it's a lot of, obviously, organic content has to be educational, informative, entertaining, right? And just provide value to someone in some specific way. How is the organic strategy kind of crossed over into paid, and how do those work hand in hand to actually drive users?
Great question. So we treat each channel, as a separate channel, and we work in our early days, we treated them as a separate channels. But then you realize if you can somehow find a way how you can track your users across all different channels, that also helps. So each team has their own goals, their own set of goals, their own user acquisition strategies, let's say. Even our social media team, social media managers, one of their goals is revenue-based goal. And they track revenue, they track users, how they convert from our social media pages to app, what they're doing inside the apps. And our Instagram page we use also not just for acquiring users, but also to communicate with our users via surveys, via stories, via different way like feedback loops and etc. And I wouldn't say it's complicated, but it's kind of complex task how we approach this. And the problem is how to manage TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Twitter, X, and all of those social media within one team, within one small team, because every platform requires their own creative strategies, their own trends, and how to be quick on that. It's just crazy. So what we did is actually build this growth mindset where they always experiment with new ideas. They try to find something new, something that's gonna work, and they not hesitate with experiment with crazy ideas, even with crazy.
Right.
And if it's not works, it's not like whatever. But
you have to budget for the experiments, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Amazing.
And when you're saying to get the budget, it's not always about the money. Sometimes it's just about the resources, about time. Just gather together over coffee and brainstorm some ideas, and some of the crazy ideas. And for that, we have like Slack channel where everybody can post the idea or post the trend or something, and we try them.
Gotcha. What have you learned about how people learn? Does that make sense? Because the way you guys structure the app, I'm sure you've learned a lot about the psychology that goes into people, given you were actually, square one, the user that needed this app. It's like, well, what have you learned about how people learn with an app like this?
I would say, so generally speaking, the obvious thing, it's the motivation. It's hard to motivate people stay within the app or within the course to learn themselves. Our program and most of our product is self-learning, self-paced, and there is like two different, let's say, product and markets where the customers can learn through self-learning experience through the app, but also there is a tutor's experience where you talk to real human one-on-one on group classes. And we have both features. We have self-learning and we have one-on-one lessons. And interesting enough, those two audiences, they almost never cross. If person want to self-learn, they're gonna stick to self-learning. If they want to take classes with real human, they're gonna do that.
Everyone learns.
And how to keep them stay motivated and keep using your product, it's really a hard challenge to
it's hard to tailor to everyone. 100%.
Yeah.
How do you guys personalize at scale like that? And obviously, I'm sure you're always kind of testing little new features here and there. If the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? You don't want to put too much in because sometimes less is more. How do you approach that, which is improving the product, but not taking 10 steps back?
Great question. It used to be really, really hard because whenever you learn language, you have so many different motivations, like for self-growth, like you want to travel, or you want to find a new job, or you want to find a new partner, or you want to talk to your relative, like grandma or your kid in another country. And within each of those categories, you have different sorts of sub-motivations, let's say. And you have also different languages and different grammars and different countries, even like Spanish, for example. It's Spanish, but it's different in Mexico, or in Spain, or in Argentina, Brazil, and Portugal, right? Portuguese language, but it's slightly different in those two countries. And personalization the problem is personalization because it lays not just in person, but also on country level, on course level, on goal motivation level, on purpose level. There is so many things. And big help recently, of course, it's AI. And finally, you can use a tool that's available for everybody right now that can help you to orchestrate those goals, orchestrate those challenges, and hyper-personalize experience, generate lessons, generate situations, etc., etc. At Promova, we have those AI role-play lessons where you can talk to our AI teacher, basically, and talk about different situations. We handcrafted dozens of different real-life scenarios, but in this scenario, you can do and you can talk and you can role-play basically anything you want. And it wasn't possible before. The next lesson or the next course or the next basically like learning entity that's going to be available after that, it's going to take into account what you have learned before, your mistakes, your pace prior to that experience, and it's going to curate and tailor new experiences to you. So finally, it's possible. And without tech, teachers used to talk to students, know them for a while, and then came up and cooked the special program tailored for this specific student. Now with AI and with all the tech that's available on the market, basically you can feed all the data that you have into engine, and it actually can happen on device. It's not always necessary to go and to send any data to the servers. it could happen on device and still private, etc. So with personalization, it's way more available and way more efficient than never today.
No, absolutely. So you've been doing this for like 6 years now. I'm sure you've learned a lot, right? So as a CEO, the past 6 years, what's something that you're still learning?
The thing is, before the Promova is my third company, third experience.
Right.
But this is this first business that hit like first million in revenue, then 10 million, then and it was like 4 years ago. And since then we grew like a lot. And recently we crossed 20 million just in downloads and many more in other metrics. And basically everything that I executed or I did last 5 years, I did for the first time. Even today, anything that's related to our operations worldwide, and we have users in every country in the world, and it's just crazy the amount of operations that's required to run this business. So everything on scale that's happening each day, I learn like it's new. And but if you're speaking about like something concrete, let's say, I would say this personalization level, we used to have this worldwide approach, the way we have one communication strategy, one UI, UX curriculum for across the app. And now when we started to personalize it, and this is where we learn a lot about cultures, where we learn a lot about the different countries, different regions. And we started to hire people internationally from different countries and different regions. And with that, I would say another level of understanding that you know nothing about this world came to me. And basically, you have to learn a lot about that.
No, love it. So what's one piece of advice you would give to a newer app founder trying to get maybe their first users, maybe trying to hit a certain revenue milestone? What advice would you give to them?
It's tough to give advices. But the first thing that came to my mind, it's resilience. As Ukrainian, my company, most of our employees many of them still in Ukraine, and work every day to build this company and to build it unique and big and better under those circumstances. It's all about resilience. It's all about the strength and power. And we never would have succeeded if we didn't believe that we can do that. And this basically the will and resilience help us to achieve that. And when you start new venture and you start new company, I believe that there is so many things you don't know, so many unknown things that you can't predict, and everything gonna happen anytime. It could happen anytime. And this resilience, and in every moment, I believe that one of the things that just stay focused and be resilient against any problems that might happen.
Love it. Well, Andrew, thank you so much for taking this FaceTime call. I'm not going to lie, I've only taken a couple years of Spanish in high school. I haven't really brushed up on any other languages, so I'm going to go download the app. Maybe start by learning how to, say banana in a different language, maybe an avocado, I don't know. But I'm gonna go download the app. Really appreciate the FaceTime call, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you for your time.